Samia here for Signal by Sony, a show about everything Sony makes. I'm here in Glendale, California, outside a building that doesn't look like much, but inside is where the movie magic happens. Yep, this is Rick Baker's studio. Rick Baker is the 7-time Oscar-winning makeup artist, and yes, the guy behind all the aliens in the Men in Black film. So let's go inside and go chat with him, shall we? After 4 decades of making movie monsters, Rick Baker knows a thing or two about bringing unique aliens to life.
You know, it was really tough on the first Men in Black we didn't quite know the tone of the film and what Men in Black was, you know, none of us did. And like all films, you know, they kind of evolve and mutate. They just said to me they want to see aliens unlike anything they'd seen before.
And he doesn't just churn out someone else's ideas, he's also a major creative contributor.
From my very first film, I had things to say. They didn't want to hear it, you know, and I was very annoying. I want to make it as cool as possible, so I would always suggest things. For example, this little green man in the guy's head was not in the script. That was something that we came up with and suggested and pitched to them. When Edgar stretches his skin out and you see this weird alien form underneath, that wasn't in the script. And the funny thing, one of the aliens that's appeared in all 3 of the Men in Black films are the worm guys. And the worm guys were something that we did before we got any decisions about what was going to be in the film. And again, as the movie mutated, it turned out we needed these aliens for a scene that was going to shoot very quickly. And I said, well, we actually have something we already have a mold of that I think would work, and these were the worm guys. And they turned out to be one of the more popular aliens.
One of his challenges is making space creatures that can both scare the audience and endear them.
When I was pitching Boris in Men in Black 3, one of the first things they said was, I think he's too scary. He looks a little too scary. I went, okay, Men in Black 1, Edgar, Vincent D'Onofrio, it was pretty scary. I mean, he could be in a horror movie. His skin was falling off and rotting, and he was a successful character. And the whole idea, when I came up with the idea of the weasel thing, which is this weapon, Boris's weapon, and have it actually go into his hand and become part of him. They went, ooh, that's kind of gross. And I go, yeah, and his kids are going to love it, and it's going to be cool, And so what if there's afraid of something? So many people were afraid of the Wicked Witch of the West, but it's everybody's favorite movie. That's part of what kids like.
Being the sci-fi master that he is, one thing Rick's learned is to focus a little less on science and a little more on the fiction.
I used to, when I would try to think about a design for an alien, first try to imagine the planet that he's from and what the environment was, to try to come up with, an alien design that made sense for where he came from. After a while, it just was like, you know what? Forget that stuff. Let's just make something that looks cool. You can get fixated on the science and the physics of it, and it's not always the right way to go.
And with so much creative energy spent on bringing the aliens of his imagination to life, he also has thoughts on real life in outer space.
I can't conceive of there not being life on some other planet in the universe. I mean, the universe is so vast. But I'll tell you, I'm hoping that I see at least a friendly alien, land in Washington, D.C. or whatever, like in science fiction movies. I mean, I just think that would be so cool to actually see a life form from another planet.
But enough about aliens. What kind of movie monster does he really want to tackle?
I've never done a Frankenstein film, and Frankenstein, the original Frankenstein, was one of the reasons I do what I do, and it is very much what I do. Not that I sew dead bodies together, but I make something out of things, that didn't exist before. I created something that didn't exist before, and it looks alive.
Well, whether it's another Frankenstein movie or even a Men in Black 4 in the future, it's a good bet that Rick Baker will be the go-to makeup artist, even in the ever-changing landscape of special effects.
Digital stuff has definitely taken away a lot of our work, the animatronic part especially, but it's also contributed to our work, and I stay real current with it just because I enjoy it as well. I do computer animations for fun and model in the computer for fun, and I actually made some of the models that we used in Men in Black 3 on my computer here at the shop. I mean, I designed them and built them as a 3D model, and then I could give them to Sony ImageWorks to animate. But also, I like learning new things and playing with new things, and I'm always trying to find a new and a better way to do stuff. So I embrace the technology.
This is a very confusing time in my life.